This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today live from the Las Coloradas Project is Mr. Scott Emerson from Kingsmen Resources. Scott, great to have you on. What am I looking at here?
Well, Gerardo, I'm here at camp today in Parral at the project site, and I thought what I could do today was to share a little bit because I know as an investor and whatnot, everybody's questions are, how are they doing? What are they doing? And I thought while I'm here live, we could demonstrate a little bit about the work that goes on because it's a big undertaking. And I don't think people realize, the amount of work and effort and your team goes into. So I thought we could do an interview from here today because I know you're going to ask me the magic question. How's it going? How many holes have you drilled? How's the lab? I'm kind of doing the interview for you, but I'm going to tell you that I think we spoke just a little over 4 weeks ago when I was here last. And I can tell you that we have now completed 8 holes. Some of those holes are here behind us that these are currently being logged and mapped. And then over here, they'll be, and hopefully I'm not too jittery, Gerardo, but you
No, no,
can
no,
see
it's
where the
great.
core splitter is. And then you can see that the tables are full of core. So we're super busy. We're really pleased. And we've just completed our last hole for those listeners and viewers that know the story on Soledad. We are now moving the rig to Soledad 2 to do some step out holes from the discovery that we had last year. And we are currently prepping right now the saddle target, which is an independent target. I always talk about it being a standalone project, along with Leona and along with Sylvia. So things are moving, drilling's going very efficiently, and I expect to provide to you and others, a pretty constant news flow once we start to get those first results, which, they've been in now for 10 days. So we still got another, 3.5 weeks based on what the lab has told us, but we should be getting it soon. I probably
Excellent.
talked too much. Sorry,
No, no,
sorry,
no, no.
Gerardo.
That's fantastic. You answered the bulk of my questions. I do have a couple of questions though. You mentioned being 8 holes in, and you mentioned step outs. How far are you stepping out? Just to give people some context on the 8 holes that you've drilled thus far.
So on the discovery holes on the Soledad structure, we've stepped out 50 meters on either side. We've gone 50 meters deeper than what we previously drilled, and then we've stepped out 100 and 150 meters to follow that structure. And we're yeah, it's
Excellent.
all good.
Excellent, excellent. The saddle target, for those that are not familiar with that target, you describe it as potentially a standalone project because it's somewhat 2.5, 3 kilometers from Las Coloradas where you're drilling now. Is that correct?
That's correct, Gerardo. So it was, for those of you that know the story, this was a very fragmented district. We spent the time to put the district all together. So there was operators in the area, but no one company had controlled the entire area that now Kingsman does. So the saddle target was a target that was identified by a company called Coeur. Some of your viewers are going to know that company. They operated in this region for 7 years. They mapped, they sampled, they did a lot of work, but they never drilled. And when we acquired this, and then I went and started to do the background research. I'm sorry, Mike, I'm holding the phone up. This was identified, and I was told by a very prominent, world-renowned geologist, don't leave there without drilling it, and we're drilling it. So we've got 4 holes targeted for it. And like I said, the drill platforms and everything are being done right now.
Excellent. And the saddle target, describe the type of target that saddle is because it does vary from where you're drilling or where you've completed the 8 holes, correct?
Correct. So for those viewers, the saddle target is what we call a look-alike to the La Prita mine, which was the mine that Parral was built around. It operated for 350 years. In fact, I was underground there yesterday to see it along with my team. We were allowed to go in level 2. There's 20 levels.
Wow.
But it's a look-alike in the sense that it's a mag high, It's never been drilled. La Perita is sits on a mag high. So there's a lot of similarities geology wise as to why we're excited for that. And again, that's a standalone project, Gerardo. If this hits, it's standalone from what we're currently working on, because Las Coloradas was 300 meters long and approximately 150 meters deep. We stepped out because our theory was, does it extend along strike and does it go to depth? We've confirmed that. We now know it goes below the water table. So this initial holes are focused up there because we don't know if we got a kilometer of strike, have we got a kilometer and a half that's mineralized. So that's going. We'll then get those in, get it logged and mapped and split and sent to the lab, and that'll allow us to go to Saddle to do the exact same thing.
You have a $39 million market cap. Your treasury sits at what, 15, 16 million. And I know you have some warrants that will be coming in here between now and the end of October, if I'm not mistaken. How are you feeling about the cash position? How are you feeling about pivoting once you drill Saddle and some of these other targets and get over to Almoloya? Will you be bringing in a second rig?
We will be bringing in a second rig. Right now, because we had access and everything, we started here at Las Coloradas, and that's the geology that we know and understand. So it made sense for us to start. Amaloya is a different looking. It's in the same district. It's a different looking animal. I'll use that expression because it's predominantly gold. We have all the historical records. A company called Hemlo drilled. We have those results. We're going to step back into their shoes. And again, does it extend along strike? Does it go deeper? From what they saw. And all their 7 holes were mineralized and economic mineralization in those holes. So hopefully I didn't get off track there, Gerardo. Sorry, but hopefully that answers
that answers the question perfectly. So just to summarize here, you'll be bringing in another rig. You have multiple projects that you're drilling between now and year end. We should anticipate assays here in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much year round drilling. It's 2 12-hour shifts that you're running right now, correct?
That's correct. Yep, and we've got the team. And again, I have to give for your viewers, just for them to see this, and I can show you the amount of work that goes in when you have a strong, a team that follows and buys into the coach, and I'll call myself the coach. You've got a well-oiled machine. We're knocking out the meters.
Exciting times. I am looking forward to assays as always. I'm really looking forward to a new discovery. I think the company is dirt cheap given the fact that, again, you have a $39 million market cap with almost half of it backed by cash, and with rigs turning and assays pending. So couldn't be more excited. Scott, anything to add to that before I let you go?
No, I appreciate you taking the time to have me on. I think it's important when you're in the field to be able to demonstrate what you're doing. And, the old adage that I use, you can't find a mind sitting behind a computer screen. So we're all hands on deck.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Thank Perla for her time. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thanks, Gerardo.
Bye. Hey, everybody. Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.